Welcome back to Roadtrip Revivals. This is my 2007 Jeep Commander. Now you will have seen this on the channel in the background. It was once in a fleet update video, but that's a couple of years old. So I thought it's high time this thing had an appearance on the channel, a bit of a review. I've had this for 6 years, so I can give you a fair bit of information. It's also known as the family truckster, and I think it's a good car. What do you think?
This is a damn fine automobile, if you want my honest opinion.
You may watch Hoovies Garage, and he did one of these recently, and he said that you've got to put big wheels on it and a lift and things like that. In my opinion, if you do all of that, you've just made it drive like a boat and totally ruined it. I think it's fine as it is. They do sit a little bit high at the back, but I don't mind that because by the time I put a trailer on it or a bit of a load in the boot, it's sitting nice and level, which is how this thing is used most of the time. It's not a massive car, this. They sort of look huge in pictures and on video, but they're not that big at all. It sort of fits in with European roads and standards and such like. It feels like a proper luxury car though. You do get nice seats, nice interior. It's nice and wide. You get double paned glass on here. It's very quiet, very nice to drive actually. Not too boaty. You get loads of space in the back. There's a fair bit of junk in there. As usual, as I say, this is the family truckster. And the rear screen pops up, which is nice. The boot isn't massive. It is a 7-seater, and one of the reasons the boot isn't big is because the seats are folded flat under here. And when you fold them up, they're suitable for children or people with no legs. So they're not great, but I can sit in there just about. You wouldn't want to sit there for more than half an hour, to be honest. Of course, it's got the tow hitch, and that is one of its main purposes, is towing trailers around. The tailgate does lift up like that as well. You've got these handles on here to fit in with the rugged look. But it is an absolutely brilliant tow car, so steady. I've pulled the full 3.5 tons with it, and you wouldn't want to do it every day, but it does it just fine. It really is a nice steady tow car. The best tow car I've ever had by a long way. When I bought it, it had these Maxxis 771 Bravo all-terrain tyres, so when it needed new tyres on the back, I stuck the same ones on so that it's got a matching set, which is what you want. This does have the Quadra Drive 2, which is what you want. You've got centre, rear and front lock-in diffs, and you've got low range as well. The interior is all fairly sort of standard, what you'd expect really. It does have a sunroof, which is tilt and slide, and you've got these two little sunroofs in the back as well. That used to be a DVD player, but that died a long time ago. Otherwise, yes, just a really nice, comfy cruising car. It's got the bits and bobs that you want, heated seats, cruise control, parking sensors front and rear, sort of things that you want. We'll have a look at the stereo system in a minute because I've upgraded that recently. Let's have a look under the bonnet first. Jeeps often get a bad rap for reliability, but a big part of that is because the Chrysler engines are not known to be the most durable. But what about if you put a Mercedes engine in it? That's sort of a dream combination, I think. So this is how the European Commanders were, same as the Cherokee, the Grand Cherokee, things like that. You've got an OM 642 Mercedes 3-litre V6 diesel, and these are brilliant. There is one gotcha on it. The oil cooler seals can fail, and they are buried down under the turbo and the manifolds deep down in the V of the engine. Luckily, this one was already done when I bought it, so I haven't had to do much to it at all. I've changed the turbo actuator, 1 or 2 injectors, a few other little bits and bobs, but I think these things will pretty much go forever. The gearbox is Mercedes as well. That's their 7226 transmission, 5-speed. Again, very tough, very durable, cheap to maintain. Keep on top of the oil changes, filter changes, and that should go on for a very long time as well. But really, it's just a very simple and rugged car. There's no air suspension. You haven't got tons of complicated German Mercedes electronics to go wrong. But you do have the nice German engine, so it's sort of a good combination, I think. It's not too rusty underneath. It has had a tickle with the MIG welder, I will admit. Although I do hope to get a good few years out of it yet. It is a solid rear axle which obviously is better for towing and off-road stuff. Now it's a big old barge obviously, but it does get a shift on when you need it to, as I'll demonstrate. And that's 60 miles an hour, but you see how quiet it is as well. It really is a nice, very quiet cruising motorway car, but if you want to run it at more than 70 miles an hour, it's going to suck the juice a bit. So I don't put massive miles on this car, but when I am driving it, I'm often with the trailer, a family holiday, we're trekking across France, we're going to the UK, things like that. Often I'm on my own, so it's really important I have a good GPS, good sound system. It did have an Android system in here, but it was very old, laggy, it was basically completely useless. So when Atoto offered me their new X10, I said, yes please, thank you very much, I'll put that in the Jeep. So that is what we have here, the X10. This is the 10-inch display version. I think this is the smallest one. They go bigger from there. I didn't want to go any bigger because I didn't want to block the air vents on the side here. And also I want to be able to see my buttons along the bottom. But I think that fits pretty neatly in there. You can have it with a single or a double din. This is the single din one. And it comes with a few brackets and bits and bobs to mount it in there. I'll jump back and show you a bit of footage from when I'm mounting it in there. Right, I've never done an unboxing before, so let's see what we've actually got here. This is the Atoto X10 powerful floating head unit, apparently. And I've no idea how this is configured. What have we got here? Lots of cables. Lots and lots of cables. Okay. And what's that? I'm going to say that's a GPS antenna. Sort of an oddments tray that could serve to fill a gap somewhere, I guess. Got some brackets. A SIM card? Okay, comes with a SIM card apparently. Alright. And then we've got the main unit here, it seems like. It's certainly very well packaged up. Lots of foam protection. Alright. There it is. This is a single din unit, and it's very small actually, the unit itself, and then it looks like the screen you can adjust up or down depending on how it's going to sit in the car. This isn't a specific fitment for the car, so I'm going to have to probably make a bracket or something to hold it in there. But yeah, our first impressions, it looks quite nice. Screen size looks about right, I reckon. Let's see. Yeah, next thing then, we'll get the old unit out of the car and figure out how this is actually going to be held in. Oh, I see. It's more like a traditional sized, what do you call that bit you put in the car first and slot the radio into. So you can mount that one up. And then that, I'm going to guess, slots in there. Okay, that's why it looks smaller than a normal single din, because it's got that extra piece that goes around it. And then this has lots of mounting holes and things, so there's lots of flexibility with how you can hold that rigidly in place before you then slot the actual main unit into it. So it seems like they've thought well about how you might integrate this into a car that isn't necessarily designed to have any sort of aftermarket system installed. Right, I've just started digging into this install and looks scarier than it is really, but this whole dash piece just pops off on these Jeeps, and that's that section there. And that's my original head unit, which I bought probably 5 years ago. It's an Android unit, and it kind of did all right, but the processor in it was always very slow. It was always quite laggy. It never really worked that great. The screen on it is very small. I bought it because it fitted neatly in the original dashboard here, so it was built for a Chrysler. But it had to go, it didn't work very good anymore, so out that came. And the new unit, I've managed to reuse all the original wiring just with a small modification. And the first thing I did was power it up, turn on the Wi-Fi, and it asked to do a software update, so I'm just letting it do that while I look at how it will fix in there. And this is our cage. That will sit in there something like that. And then in the kit, you get these brackets which bolt on the side. That bracket will then fix into the car there. Of course, it's got all the bits you'd expect, the GPS, the Android Auto. You can put all your apps on there, your Spotify, your YouTube music, your YouTube app and all that, of course. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's Roadtrip Revivals, very nice. I'm really impressed with the sound quality on it. This car does have an external amp, but nonetheless the sound quality is really, really good. It comes with its own built-in AI app, which I must admit I haven't actually tried. Your YouTube music works very nice. I won't play anything because I'll get a copyright strike. I got a front and rear camera set up with it. I didn't actually get the front one working yet, but I put the back one on this button here. It is full HD, I believe. That is quite nice. The screen resolution is really good. There seems to be plenty of storage space for all the different apps and things you might want. The screen also is very responsive and bright. Obviously you can adjust the brightness and all of that good stuff. I don't use Android Auto. I find it really annoying. When I'm driving, I just want my phone to be my phone, and I don't want it linked Bluetooth to the car. I find that really annoying because sometimes you get out the car, a call comes, the call is routed to the car, or you get in the car, someone else's Bluetooth links up to it, or the Bluetooth won't connect because it's joined to your speakers or some other device or something. I find Bluetooth really annoying, so I try and avoid it where possible. What I tend to do is just set a hotspot on my phone as soon as I get in the car, and then the Android tablet basically runs off the hotspot. You can see there now it's connected, and then it has full connectivity. I'm getting my Google Maps, my YouTube, my Spotify, my YouTube music, all that stuff will run without needing any Bluetooth or Android Auto or any of that silly stuff. If you like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, I'm sure all of that is on there and you can plug in and you can use all of that as you wish. It also came with this little wireless remote that I just stuck onto the steering wheel here. The volume is there, you can skip the tracks, pause, play, all of that. So that's pretty neat, that seems to work all right. You can, if you want, I'm sure, buy a wiring harness and link it up to your existing steering wheel controls if you wish. I'll just show you the rear camera as well. So that's the rear camera. I did have to drill a hole in my boot lid, and I was going to put it here, but then I realised when the lift glass opens it was going to crash into it, so I stuck it over here on the side. Feels like a nice durable little solid camera. I was dreading putting the wire in because I thought, oh no, I'm going to have to feed it down here, all under the seats, this and that, but actually it was really easy. I passed the cable through this gaiter here, took this trim off, sent it across, and I actually just tucked it in beside the headliner right the way down up to the A-pillar, came down there and then snuck it in behind the dashboard, and that was actually really quick and easy. Can't promise your car will be that quick and easy, but usually there's a route to just tucking it in behind the trims and it's not too annoying to get it done. So there it is. I'm not sure what else I can tell you about that really. It works nice, it's not laggy, it boots up quickly, does the job really, really well. The map is nice and clear. It always has this bar across the bottom for the shortcuts, skip tracks, put the camera on, access your apps, music, phone. I think that's your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay button, and your volume over there. One issue I did have with this car was I found if I didn't drive it for a week or so, it used to drain its battery. And I spent a little while troubleshooting it, and what I found was that the dashboard was drawing power when it was turned off, and I didn't really want to change the dash. So in order to rectify it, I put this little switch down here, and what that does is when you turn that off, it cuts the power to the dash when the key is off. But also when that is off, the central locking doesn't work. So there's a bit of a procedure to lock and unlock it, and it goes something like this. You've got to turn the car off, open the door, press the lock button, then you come back here, turn that switch off, and then you get out and shut the door, and then it's locked. To unlock it, you've got to do it with the key, unlock the door, you've got to get back in, you've got to turn the switch back on, and you've got to come press the unlock button and then the doors are open. But that's just a Jeep thing. I wouldn't expect you to understand. Apparently the CEO of Chrysler at the time said that these were not fit for human consumption. I think that's a bit harsh. Tell me what you think down below. In my opinion, this is better and more reliable than Land Rover. That might be controversial. One other important thing is this is a monocoque construction. There's no separate chassis. And in my opinion, that is a bit better. It's a bit lighter, a bit more compact for it as well. It's not incredibly heavy. I think it's 2.2 tons, something like that, curb weight. And that's enough weight to make it a nice, steady, safe tow car, but it's not excessively heavy like a Range Rover Sport that weighs 2.8 tons or something, which is just ridiculous. That engine for me is sort of peak diesel. It's got a DPF, but there's none of the other selective reduction catalyst, blah, blah, blah sort of stuff on it. And that hasn't given me any bother anyway. A simple remap on that engine give you about 280 horsepower, loads of towing torque. All in all, a pretty good car. I've had this for 6 years and that's a long time for me. Have thought of replacing it now and again, but honestly can't think of anything that would do the job better that isn't absolutely extortionate on price. So as long as this thing keeps going, it will stay on the fleet. You'll see it from time to time in the backgrounds. Hope you enjoyed this video. Drop me a like, keep subscribing, keep commenting, and I'll see you in the next one.